Hello and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 576. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I am Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. Today is the 3rd of June, 2022. I actually had to think about the year for a second there.
It happens.
Laura and I both use the she, her pronouns. It's been a couple weeks since we recorded. Lots of stuff going on here. And lots of SSK prep, which has taken up time. So,
It happens.
Our current project workload reflects that a little too.
And it was the end of school.
It
and
was.
Stash Dash has started.
Yep.
So lots and lots going on.
Do you want to talk about what you're working on?
Sure. I am currently working on 3 items. The first is a pair of socks that I actually got the heel in the first one. I was in a very long line at the farmer's market.
For bagels?
For bagels this week. Bagels, blueberries, and chocolate milk. That is always my farmer's market shopping list. So, I got through the heel increases and the heel turn, most of the heel turn, while I was in line. And so these are nomadic yarns, nomadic knits, nomadic yarns. I always say her. Yarns. Yeah, I always say her name wrong, and I don't know why. Nomadic yarns, so sweet, and knitting these on size 1 needles because they are her sport weight base. The second thing on my needles, I just cast on, but it might be beneath something else. I'll do this one first. I did not just cast this on. The second thing on my needles is a sweater. It is by Heidi Kermayer.
Kermayer.
Mm-hmm. Out of some hand-spun Rambouillet. It is in the middle of a row. Shocking.
As always.
I did get...
So this is a...
From that point down, so I got a good...
Right?
Yeah, I did get like a good 3 inches maybe done. But yeah, slow and steady. I did accidentally do a yarn over way back here.
Oh.
So I'm just going to seam that closed.
Oh, okay.
It'll be fine. Or, I can't tell if I don't know that it might not be a yarn over. It just might be like a weird, funky
You can just like
stitch.
Mark it with a pen, and then once you block it, go back and look and see what it looks like.
Yep. So I will fix that. And I'm just going around and around. I only have this much left on the first skein, and I have one more skein to do the rest of the body. It's like an 800 yard skein because I spun these. To do the rest of the body, and I'm at 11 inches on the body so far.
Past the underarm.
Yep. And then I have a giant collar to do and sleeves. So I should be fine. So that is on some Licka needles, and then I think size 6. Maybe 4s. Hold on. 4s. With 6s, it would be going faster. And then on teeny tiny needles out of handspun, I just cast on a coin flip hat. So the coin flip hat is a brand new pattern that just came out from Shayna Line's Designs. And it is worked modularly, so she has you do a provisional cast on. I always use Judy's Magic Cast On as my provisional cast on. And then you create 2 panels, and then those 2 panels are, there's another little piece that you knit and join as you go that goes around the whole entire hat. So I am knitting that out of Spring Spun, which Spring Sprung, which makes me think of the RuPaul's Drag Race song, Spring Sprung, Bang Bang Bong, Ding Ding Dong.
UK Hun.
This is a BFL that I spun quite a bit ago. I just got this same colorway on a gray Shetland, so it's going to be interesting to see how they compare. I haven't decided what color I'm going to join it with yet. I just started, so I'm going to get, Buffy just came up. So I'm going to get my 2 panels done. Buffy is Leslie's Pitbull. And I'm knitting these on size 1 signatures. So they are teeny tiny. But I bet it'll go pretty fast because it's a hat. And I'm doing the shorter version. And if I don't like it, it will go into the SSK giveaway pile. Buff, you're sitting in my bag.
She wants to be very close to you.
Can you come over? There's no place for you to go over there. I know. You're trapped. And your bottom's in my bag. Can you get out of there?
There you go.
Oh, good job. I know it was hard. So those are the 3 things that I am working on currently. What are you working on?
Well, I'm only really working on one thing right now, and it's the same thing I've been working on for a while, for a couple weeks. And it is the Bagamoyo by Catherine Folkerth. The link is in our show notes. Our show notes are on our website, which is TheKnitGirlls with 3 L's. .com.
You can also find a link there to our Discord server, which is where everyone's chatting about Stash Dash and lots of other things.
So, yeah, I've been working on this for a few weeks. I would like to wear it at SSK. I think that's a reasonable goal. So,
I think so, because you're almost done.
Well, I mean, it never feels like that. But the last time that I was working on it was this marker.
Last time y'all saw it, yeah.
Which is about 3 inches below the underarm. It's bottom up in the round until the underarm, where it splits from front to back. And I finished the body of it, the front and the back. I did modify it a little bit in that most of there aren't a ton of finished objects from this pattern, but most of them had slightly wider necks than I wanted, more boat necky. So I did go further in towards the neck when I was doing, before I bound off, stitches for the neck. I went further in towards the middle of the neck, not by a lot.
You decreased that bind off number.
Correct. And then I forgot to adjust it on the back, so I had to, when I was Kitchenering the tops closed, I had to, put a couple of loops together as I was going. But instead of doing a 3-needle bind off, I did Kitchener at the top, just because it lays flatter and looks nicer, in my opinion. So, yeah, it looks nice, I think.
Yeah.
Well, these are short rows, but you can't really tell where it was joined, and that makes me happy. So yeah, I am on the sleeve. I have changed the sleeve a little bit as well, because it has the sleeve done straight like a drop sleeve. But the actual sleeve starts at your shoulder, but it does it straight out like a drop sleeve, and I didn't like the way that looked. So, because it would have bunched under my arm for me. So I did some short row shaping to create a cap for the sleeve.
Did you use like Isabel Kramer's stuff? She's got good information on that.
I did some cursory searching, but I had a lot of stuff going on this past week and didn't really feel like doing a ton of research. So I just kind of winged it. I mean, I wrote it down so that I would...
Good, so you can do it on the other side, too. So I can do it on the
other side, but yeah, I just kind of winged it. I'm only going to do it I want between 2.5 and 3 inches from the underarm, and then I'm going to do some ribbing, which is what the pattern calls for.
Oh, so it's a short sleeve.
It's short sleeve, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. If it was a drop sleeve and then long sleeves, I wouldn't have minded so much. But it looks really awkward on the few bigger people that had knit it. For it to go straight, like the sleeve, if you laid it down, goes straight out instead of going at an angle like your arm actually lays.
It does, yeah.
So, and then I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the neck. The pattern actually calls for you to do a little bit of ribbing, but there were a couple people who did like a simple crochet neckline, like very simple single stitch crochet all around, and it looked really nice. So
the ribbing might bring it in though a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I could crochet, slip stitch, stitches together, and that'll pull it in a little bit as well, but we'll see how much yarn I've got left, because I bought 2 extra. I lost one of my skeins, still don't know where it is. And then
it'll turn up in like 2 years.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely turn up, probably right as I bind this off. But so I bought 2 skeins from a shop in, I don't know, Maine, I think, that I found online. that happen to have the same colorway. Apparently this is a discontinued color, so it's hard to find. So I bought 2 skeins. So basically I recovered my 1 skein and got an extra one, and I still think I'm going to be close to running out, because this is all I've got left.
Oh, wow.
So, and I've got the swatch that I can unravel for
yeah, that
a little
can
bit
do
of
the neckline, probably.
So,
depending on how
I just
big
started
you
this
swatched.
skein, you know, an inch back in my short row sleeve cap, so that's why I would love the sleeves to be longer and go to like elbow length, but I don't have enough yarn.
Yeah.
So that's just the way it is. And it's just my like ingrained need to cover my big, you know, giant arms.
Meh.
Which I don't actually care about, but in
I
my
was gonna say, the shirt that
subconsciously
you're
care
wearing
about.
doesn't cover.
No.
So I think you're fine.
Yeah, that's all I'm working on. Do you have any finished things?
No.
I have, so these I was working on last week. These were cranked tubes, and I put heels and toes in them. I think I maybe already put toes and I was working on heels, I can't remember, but they weren't done. So I finished them. These are from CJ Knit on Etsy, and these are for me. Oh, I haven't finished weaving in ends on this one, which is unlike me, I usually do. So I'll have to go back and fix that.
I have a stack of socks to weave in.
I usually do it right then because I hate finding them later without them woven in, but
I put them near my, well now they're near my computer so that when I do a Zoom, if like my, if I run out of bobbins or whatever,
you have some
I
little
have something,
things to do.
small things, yeah, that I can finish off.
So, yep, these are just little shorty socks, very short
Cute.
cuff. And I think this was something to do with stained glass, the colorway, but it's been years, so I don't know what they're called, the colorway. So those are for me. And then I've started doing some embroidery. When I have, you know, a couple minutes of a break from lunch, I'll do a quick embroidery bit. So I've got these drop cloth samplers. Rebecca Ringquist does, her brand is called Drop Cloth Samplers.
She has a lot of really cool ones.
Yeah.
In different sizes.
And I signed up for her annual club, which you get 12 different samplers, and I think it was like
cool.
$75 or something.
That's not bad
it
at
was
all.
very reasonable.
Does it
Whatever
come
is.
with the yarn as well?
The threads? No. It's
Okay.
just but I have plenty of that. So this one is focused specifically on threaded stitches. So it tells you the stitch name, and she's got directions on her website for most of them, but there's always YouTube videos for anything that you can't find. I didn't particularly love threading the stitches, but mostly because it required me actually pay attention, and because the lines are already drawn on the sampler, so you have to make them line up with, like, you have to make the thread line up with the lines, or else it's really visible.
Yeah.
So, like, on the pink one here, there are a couple places where it doesn't line up.
It's cool though. There's
perfectly.
some really cool techniques there.
So, yeah, I mean, I learned things.
Yeah, I like that filled running stitch one.
So, yeah, so that's, you know, this I've probably worked on here and there for a month, you know, only where I could get a few minutes a day. So that's, you know, it's my one embroidery thing. And I have no spinning, but Laura's probably got some gorgeous spinning.
I do have a little bit of spinning. I have some spinning drying outside my house because I did not wash some stuff. But one thing that I have completely done are some hobbledehoy batlings. These were 2 ounces of organic Polworth bamboo and silk. Unfortunately, hobbledehoy is not making stuff anymore, but she did some gorgeous stuff, and this is 160 ounces of a 2-ply. This was spun on my Daedalus Starling. This is the first thing actually that I spun on the new one, the flat pack one. So yeah, it'll make a fun little hat or something. And I love her batlings. They've got just a lot of shimmer and shine to them. Another thing that I am spinning on the Starling is...
Your bobbin is so evenly loaded.
I don't know what happened there. I was doing this during a Zoom the other day. This is Just a Glimpse. It is by Hello Yarn. It was the December 2021 Fiber Club. It's a limited edition American wool blend top. It kind of feels like a quarry. It's really, really pretty. And so this is going to be probably an SSK prize.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, I like it. So that, the first bobbin is done. Then I realized I didn't have any more bobbins, and that's when the plying started. And then what else do I have in here? Oh,
Unless it's for a specific thing, that's the only time the plying happens.
Yep. I have a smidge of embroidery floss for you. So it wasn't spun super thin on purpose. I actually spun it on my Lendrum, and I was working on an article for Ply, but this was left over. And I was like, Leslie can use that. It's 100% Tessa silk. It is from Inglenook in the smooth sailing colorway. It's really, really pretty. It's got a nice shimmer to it. Because I was goofing around on the Lendrum, if I was to do it again, I would add a lot more twist. But I think it'll be pretty.
It's very soft.
Yeah, I don't know who I am. Like, I enjoyed spinning silk.
That is very unlike you.
And then I bought more silk. I don't know what's
that
happening.
That is not unlike you.
Silk is.
No, but the enjoying something and then immediately buying more of it.
Yeah. Well, they had an update. And then I am also spinning.
I love that you say that like, well, they had an update, so I had to buy some.
Well, as you do. They have an update once a month.
I like that.
Yeah, so this is Sit Spray from Hip Strings. It is 50% merino wool, 25% Shetland wool, 12.5% Tessa silk, and 12.5% Sari silk. Unfortunately, you can't because they don't make it anymore.
Oh, bummer.
They do have a red one. We'll see. I have it at my house.
Oh, okay.
They ran out of the Soot Spray, and I think she came up with another colorway, but it's not quite. Yeah, it's similar. It's not quite the same.
I like the charcoal with the pops of.
So if you have a gray fleece, we can do the same thing because we have a bunch of well, it's Sari silk. So we have a good bit of Sari silk. Neps are different.
Oh, but they're made out of Sari silk, aren't they?
Mm-mm.
I thought they were the little balls.
They're the little balls. Sometimes they're made out of silk. Sometimes they're made out of wool.
Okay.
But Sari silk is like the long threads.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you have a fleece, we can do that on a drum carder.
I mean, do I have a fleece? Yeah, I've got lots of fleeces.
We can do that for
not
you.
As many as you, but.
And we can get some silk if you want to add that shine. I might have some silk. I actually have that gray silk that we can put in. What? The Tessa that I was spinning for your embroidery floss.
Oh.
I have another ounce. So we could totally do that. We can make you some. Or you can look and see at Hip Strings because they will be at SSK.
Yes, they will.
So that is what I have for spinning. I did ply both the loop bump in Purple Sage and the Fat Cat Knits, but they are drying at home.
I was like, where are they?
Yep. And I've been washing fleece, a Cordell dark brownish gray fleece that I got at Maryland.
Speaking of, I looked for my soap, but I can't find it. So Michael,
I think you gave it to me.
Oh, I might have. I was going to ask Michael if he moved it because it was under the sink, and now there's a bunch of other his crap under there. So
you can ask him.
He might have moved it if I have any.
But
if not, Ross Farms sells it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'll double check that she's bringing gallon jugs because I mentioned that, and a couple other people were like, I would like to buy gallon jugs too.
Yeah.
We're talking about Power Scour, which is produced by Unicorn Fiber Company. It's my favorite way to wash fleeces, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fleeces to wash, so I will probably go through a substantial amount this summer. It's good because
you don't, it's very gentle and leaves a very nice smell, but it cleans the hell out of some fleece.
And you don't need as warm of water as you do for, Dawn. I definitely could go back to Dawn if I need to.
It's not the only thing that you can use.
Nope.
It just makes it easier and quicker to do it.
And I don't need to boil water to use it, so that part is nice. But yeah, I've been washing some fleece. Hopefully I'll get that first fleece done and then move on. That Cordale, I'll probably move on to either a Romney that I have or the other fleece that I got at Maryland, which is also 7 pounds. All the fleece. The one that I'm washing now is definitely going to be drum carded. It's the lock structure is not there to comb, so it'll make it a smidge easier. We'll see. Got all the things to do.
Yeah, and the summer will be gone before you know.
I know. I only have 2 months left, less than 2 months. So, because I go back to work on August 1st this year, and kids come on the 4th, I believe. They come back on like a Friday or a Thursday.
It's just insanity.
But, yep. It's all going. What have you been reading?
I haven't been reading a ton, but I finished the first book in the Asperfell series and started the second book, which I think is Forest Kingdom, and I'm mostly through that one, but it is more young adult than I expected, I think, and that's not like a negative thing. It's just that I expected one thing and I got a different thing. So I think I'm at like 75% of the way through, and I just don't care anymore.
Oh.
So,
sounds like a good time to abandon.
yeah, I mean, I temporarily abandoned it and started some, silly male-male romance about a construction company and, anyway, just a silly male-male romance. Because I needed something lighter. I've been listening to The Maintenance Phase again. I support them on Patreon because I love Aubrey Gordon big time. Lots and lots. She's brilliant, and she gets points across in a really, easy to understand way, and she's just funny. I like her.
Good.
And I might start the new David Sedaris audiobook. He got a new one there's a new one of his that came out. I've listened to Me Talk Pretty One Day, When You Are Engulfed in Flames, the one that was from his diaries. It's like shorter stories. I can't remember what that one's called. All of them several times, because David Sedaris is a great storyteller. I'm sure he's done something that has gotten him canceled or something. I don't know, but he's a very good storyteller.
I don't know about that. Nothing that I can think of.
I don't know, but I intentionally, don't stay up to date on everything. I'm very ostrich head in the sand right now, so.
Well, you've had a week, friend.
That's mostly. I mean, I haven't really been doing or listening or reading much. What about you?
I watched the entire series 2 of The Floor is Lava today.
Yeah, I just found out it existed yesterday, and I was like, oh, cool, this is something more, and I can watch it. And she's like, yeah, I'm watching the whole series.
There's only 5 episodes, and they're only 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So, as I was watching Wool today and playing, I put on The Floor is Lava.
Because that's something you
we
can
have
walk
other
away
things.
from.
Yeah. We have other
Yeah.
things that we need to catch up on. We're like 3 behind in Drag Race and some other stuff. So I have lots of spelling errors in the show notes that need to be fixed.
She's got squiggly lines that are just mocking her.
I finished both seasons of Ted Lasso. It was really good. Someone had said, the thing about the second season is Ted Lasso is the people that you thought were good, like their characters flip, and vice versa. And that is very true, and it was a good one, and I'm still re-listening to the Alpha and Omega series by Patricia Briggs. I'm on the 3rd one. So yeah, we have some SSK announcements.
Mm-hmm.
I am doing SSK Zooms. They are Tuesday and Thursday. They are from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time. If you are attending SSK, you should have gotten an email. If you didn't, just send me an email, and I will be happy to forward those codes on to you. The passcode to get in. It's very
top secret.
I feel like there's like in my mind there's like a speakeasy door. People have to knock and ask, tell the password. So that is going on Tuesday and Thursday nights, and then we have some open SSK spots. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, we opened. The people who initially signed up for SSK signed up in 2019. It is now 2022. And life happens, right? People have kids, people move, people, change jobs, health situations change. So
people are getting married.
Yeah. So we've had people, drop, and we've filled those spots as we've gone. But we do still have some open spots, not a ton, but we have some open spots. And we will have a blog post that goes up at 10 a.m. Central on Monday, the 6th of June.
And that's on the Super Summer Knit Together website.
SuperSummerKnitTogether.com. And there are 2 links in there. One link is if you want to stay on site. One link is if you want to be a day passer. They're clearly marked. And the Google form is limited so that once we hit the number of spots that we have open, nobody else will be able to fill it out. So if you get there and you're able to fill it out, then you have claimed a spot. Because it's like 5.5 weeks away, the deposit is due immediately, and then there's information about the remaining balance and when it's due and how to pay it and all that stuff. So,
and once you get in, we'll send you all the links to
you'll get
classes and everything else.
Ridiculously long email with all the information and several links to forms to fill out. For what classes do you want? If you're on site, do you know who you want to room with? Like all sorts of questions.
Extras, all sorts of things.
We have had a couple of vendor changes as well because life happens to vendors also.
Yeah.
So
we need to update those.
We're waiting on. I sent a contract out to one person, and I'm waiting on details to send a contract out to another person. So once we know who those people are, we'll let you know. Once we have signed contracts.
And I need to take some people off there too.
Yeah. It's sad because most of the vendors we know personally, and not being able to see them is a bummer, but people have to do what's best for them.
Absolutely. So. There's still a pandemic going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And just on a sort of a bummer note, I'm going to leave you guys so sad. This week has been complete crap for me because we introduced someone on episode 60-something of the podcast, and it was called Name the Newbie. And that was when we got Neelix, our puppy. And we had to say goodbye to him this week because
he crossed the Rainbow Bridge.
He was 11. He was a Whippet Dachshund mix. At least that's what they told us when we got him. I believe the Whippet part. I don't know about the Dachshund part. And he was my husband's shadow. And he started acting strange, and his eating and drinking changed, and he had a gigantic splenic tumor. So
his quality of life was no longer there.
Drastically reduced in a short time, which I guess I'm kind of glad it happened really quickly. But it's been a crappy week. So I've been behind on everything: SSK emails, work stuff. Of course, work is wonderful and accommodating. No complaints there. So are the SSK people once I just let them know it's been a crummy week. People are very understanding. And just in anticipation of anybody leaving a comment, we're fine. It sucks, but, in time it will suck a little less. So.
Yeah.
All my animals are getting old. I have a senior cat who is 17 and requires medicine twice a day. I have a senior dog who is at least as old as Neelix, but I don't know.
It's Buffy.
Buffy, yeah. I don't know what the lifespan of pit bulls is. She still seems,
she's cool.
Fine.
She's sleeping right now.
And that's what I'm looking at over there, yeah. And then we have a fat, younger cat, Victoria. Well, she's not younger. She's probably 8. But, yeah.
It's younger.
So, most of our pets are reaching, elderly
Not
status.
the Toad Army. The Toad Army will be with you forever.
I don't know. They all look the same. He could have wiped them out and gotten a whole new set. I would never know. But But yeah, it's been a crummy week, but it will slowly get better, and thank you in advance. I know we have some very kind and wonderful people who watch the show and want the best for everyone. Makes me miss Humberto when I think about it. You know?
Yeah.
He was a good kitty.
He was.
He took no shit from anyone.
There will be kittens again.
Yeah.
At some point.
There will be another dog at some point, because Buffy's great, but she's not affectionate. She's, you know, and that's fine. She had a really rough life before we got her. So,
she's a bait dog.
Yeah. So, you know, just feeling secure is her happiness. She doesn't want to cuddle with anybody, except Laura. She likes Laura.
We're buddies.
Are you staring at that spot again?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what... I think it's a yarn over.
Well, you can always seam it up from the other side.
Oh, yeah.
All
I
right.
also can pull the legs of the stitches around it, make it smaller. Anyway.
I don't have anything else. I'm going to do my absolute best to get this up tonight so people know in advance.
Yeah.
Of the open SSK spots.
Oh, we're going to have a Patreon event on Sunday.
Yes, a Patreon event on Sunday where we try out a couple of gadgets. We were going to do it before, but this week has sidetracked everything. So.
And that's why we missed a week of episodes, too.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
So, until next week, I hope that you guys have a good one, and we'll talk to you then.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.